Well, this is a Thruxton Jackaroo, which is a modification of a tiger moth after the Second World War. In Britain, there was a lot of tiger moths after the war, as in many countries, lots of trainers left over. And because the tariffs were so high on aircraft like Piper Cubs, etc., going into England, they needed another type of family aircraft. So they converted two-place tiger moths to four-place Jackaroos. The airplanes originally were named that because the man in charge of the change of the aircraft was Australian, and Jackaroo in Australian talk means jack of all trades. As far as I know, 19 aircraft were produced by Thruxton at the factory, and there are about 4 of them left flying in the world. This is the only Thruxton Jackaroo in North America, or South America for that matter. It came to Canada in 1970 when its owner immigrated to Canada. He brought it with him. The aircraft went through a few different hands and ended up eventually in the hands of Tom Dietrich and Frank Evans from Guelph, Ontario. And those two gentlemen restored the aircraft in the mid-1980s and brought it to Oshkosh and Wanalindi. The aircraft has been back to Oshkosh approximately 2007. I flew it, and again today. The aircraft's had a facelift just recently, about a year ago. Had some painting and just cleaning up and, make it a little more presentable. It needed a few tattered places fixed. Here at Oshkosh, we see a lot of British people, of course, and from South Africa and from Australia. They kind of all know what it is. And they say, wow, I haven't seen one of those for a long time, and they know what it is, and they ask a lot of questions. But if it's Americans, for the most part, they say, what is it? Because they haven't seen an aircraft like that, because there's not many around, and it is British. Many guess at being a tiger moth, of course, but it goes a little farther than being just a tiger moth. A regular tiger moth is actually less stable than this aircraft. Even though it is also wider to accommodate 4 people, it's also longer, so it's very longitudinally stable. The big difference, though, is it's a little draggier and not as fast as a tiger moth or as maneuverable. But it's a pleasure to fly. This Jackaroo aircraft has been great because we give a lot of rides, especially to mums and kids in this airplane. Because it has 4 seats, it's great for a mum and 2 kids. So all my grandchildren, all my children all had their first airplane ride in this aircraft. And we've done so for many other kids in the area. So when we do a fly-in, we're happy to take moms, kids, dads, families up for a little ride in an old biplane.